Thanks for coming to our webinar. We're going to wait just about another 30 seconds or so. Some people are still dialing on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. But thank you for coming. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. And then if anybody else wants to join us, they can come on in. So welcome to the undergraduate admissions webinar for the School of Professional Advancement. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions for the School of Professional Advancement, which we also call SoPA. I am joined by my colleague Ann Conlon, who is helping move the slides along and is supporting us with the tech in the background. And then a couple of other colleagues that I'd like to introduce you to are our Dean, Suri Deitch, who it's always good to know who Suri is if you're coming to SoPA. She is what makes Suri a little bit different than other deans is that she is incredibly approachable. She often joins us on these webinars. She likes to get to know students, and that sets the tone for our school because we're a school where we like to create relationships with our students. Also, another person who you may have interacted with on our team is Hope Anderson. She's our admissions counselor. Oftentimes, if you will email us or if you've been sending your transcripts to us, Hope will be the person who you interact with. So it's always good to put some faces with names. So a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement. Tulane University is made up of 10 different smaller schools, one of which is the School of Professional Advancement. So the School of Professional Advancement offers undergraduate and graduate degrees as well as several different certificate programs to students. And this webinar today will talk about specifically our undergraduate programs that we offer. So here's some pictures of the campus. One of the things that we love to show is our mural from our offices, Where You Belong. That mural was actually designed, created, and painted by some of our digital design students. But what we love about it is that it helps create the message about SoPA, that we feel like all of our students belong at the school. This is a common space in our offices where students often will come and just like study in between classes or just plop down and talk to advisors and professors. But we like to give you all a little like sneak peek if you haven't come to visit campus, but we would love to have you come visit if you haven't. Next slide, please. All right, so what we feel like makes our school at Tulane particularly impressive to students is a combination of our program, our faculty, and our degrees. And up on the screen is a picture of what your diploma will look like when you graduate from SoPA. You can see it's the School of Professional Advancement at Tulane University, and your name will be right on there after you graduate. So, but during this webinar, we're going to talk about our programs, our faculty, and our degrees, and hopefully some differentiators about what makes our programs so strong. Right. So we're also going to touch on briefly the experience that you have in the classrooms and also all of the student support that our students get. A differentiator for us is that our students get wrapped in support from the minute that they get admitted to SoPA all the way through graduation. So we're not just interested in having you be admitted to the school. We want to see you graduate. We want you to get that degree that you just saw on the slide before and have your name on it and be part of our Tulane family. So we'll talk a little bit more about how we do that. So one of the things that we feel like makes our program so strong is our faculty. And our faculty actually do what they teach, which means that our faculty are all considered what we call professors of practice, meaning that they teach what they practice, what they do. So I can't speak. So for instance, Patricia Betancourt is a lawyer, but she teaches in our legal studies program, in our paralegal studies program. Bo Boudreau is a published poet, and he's one of our writing instructors. Tyra Mitchell has her doctorate in physical therapy, but she is a former chief of physical therapy at Ochsner, which is the big hospital system here in New Orleans. Ralph Russo is the program director of our IT and cybersecurity programs, and Ralph is a former NYPD officer, and he helped the New York Police Department start their first cybersecurity unit after 9/11. So these are just really good examples of how the faculty you will learn from are all experts in the field and have done the work that it is that you're studying to do. So we feel like that makes the classroom experience much richer for students because you're learning from people who will be your colleagues at some point. All right, so here's an example from Amanda Fennell. Amanda teaches in our cybersecurity program, and here's a quote that she likes to share with students. She says it a lot better than I do. As a cybersecurity leader, I feel it's vital to prepare our professionals through practical experience, which is why I incorporate my day job into my classes at nights. And so that's a great example about how all of our faculty during the day, they are experts in a field, and then in the classroom, they bring that expertise to you and you get to benefit from that real world experience. It also means that you'll be prepared for the current workforce. The reason that we structure our faculty that way is because we want our students when they graduate to be able to get jobs and have today's expertise that is needed to get hired right now. And we find that our students find that very valuable upon graduation. All right, so let's talk about our degrees. So in front of you, you can see all of our programs and the degrees that we offer. So we offer in our business and leadership studies program, human resources and organizational behavior and management studies, which is a really, so human resources is human resources. But organizational behavior management studies is just a really long word for business studies. So if you're looking for business, those are our 2 bachelor's degrees. And then underneath it in blue are the professional certificates that we offer. Accounting fundamentals, applied business studies, human resources certificate, which isn't a full degree, but just a certificate, and small business development. In our emergency and security studies, we offer a Homeland Security bachelor's degree. We have a general legal studies program, which offers a general legal studies degree. Our general legal studies program is American Bar Association approved, which is the highest level of approval that you can get in recognition. And it prepares our students to be paralegals upon graduation. And then also many of our students go ahead and apply to law school and get accepted. And so if you're interested in applying to law school, our program will prepare you well. We have a humanities and social sciences degrees. We have an information technology degree. Our kinesiology program offers 2 degrees, exercise science and health and wellness. And our media and design program offer a digital design, digital media and marketing communications, and a public relations degree. And of course, in the blue and green, you can see the certificates that we offer also. Are you able to double major? So that is really a question. You cannot do 2 degrees at the same time. You could do a degree and get multiple certificates if that's what you're interested in, but you will have to work it out with your advisor to make sure that you can get all the classes that you need in order to get your bachelor's degree. All right, next, please. So our learning experience at SoPA, we feel like is a differentiator. Our classes, you can take them both in person and online. It's up to you. You can take all of them in person. You can take almost your whole second half of your bachelor's degree online if you want to. So we offer a lot of flexibility to students who might be working, taking care of family members, or maybe just enjoy either the in-person or online experience, one over the other. Let me tell you about why our online experience is different from other schools. It is purposely designed to be engaging, to create a group dynamic. We want our students to be able to create relationships with other students as well as the faculty that they get taught from. And so we purposely have learning styles that different students can learn from. So if you're an auditory learner, we have courses that are created for auditory learners. If you're more of a visual learner, we'll have some course content that is created for that learning style. If you're more of a student that likes to watch videos, we'll have course content that is in that style. The reason that we can create such engaging and interactive curriculum is because we employ at SoPA what are called educational instructional designers. And these are master's level educators, meaning folks who went to education school and got their master's degree in education. But instead of being classroom teachers, they are called learning designers. And so their area of expertise is to take classroom curriculum and translate it to the online space. And so they can take curriculum and make it incredibly engaging. So you're not just flipping through PowerPoints or reading a chapter and putting something up on a chat board. And you also have opportunities to work with other students and create relationships. So a couple examples of that are on our next slide. Here's two examples. The first picture is an example of, we have several classes that actually take place in the metaverse. So for students who are interested in like our Homeland Security or our cybersecurity programs and some other programs too, there might be a scenario where you actually go into the metaverse, create an avatar for yourself, and work your way through that scenario in an interactive sort of 3D way, and come up with a conclusion and submit that for a grade. That's a very different experience than just looking at PowerPoints and submitting a 2-page Word document. Also, some of our courses have lessons via podcast. So for a lot of students, they, can't sit down and do homework for 2 hours at a block. There's a lot of other things going on. But if you have a podcast that you need to listen to, you can listen to 30 minutes of it in the car, 45 minutes of it while you're cooking dinner, another 30 minutes maybe while you're walking the dog or exercising. That's also really good for auditory learners who learn through listening. So these are all different ways that we give you all curriculum that are fun, engaging, and very different than just the basic, submit through Canvas a Word document. Yes, SoPA students have access to all the student support services like the Writing Center and the Office of Support Services. Yes. Next, please. Okay, so a little bit about our student support and success. And I mentioned this, in the introduction. We are very much committed to our students not only getting into SoPA, but also graduating. So we want to make sure that we wrap you with all sorts of levels of support, like the Writing Center and the Office of Student Support, but also every single one of our students has 2 advisors. They have an academic advisor, and they also have a faculty advisor. The faculty advisor, like I said, they all have industry expertise. So they're very helpful when it comes to applying for jobs or translating maybe your favorite class. You might say, I really love these 3 classes that I took. What does that mean for me in the workplace? What kind of jobs will I be doing more of that in? And they can answer those questions for you and help guide you. We also have our own dedicated career advisor that we don't share with any other part of the school. She is just for our students. She does career panels to introduce students to different folks in areas of the workforce that you might be interested in learning from. Also, she can help you with interviews, help you put your LinkedIn page together. And also our career advisor will get job postings from all over, really all over the country, but certainly in the local area, and push those out to our students. So we are constantly pushing open job postings to our students so that you have the opportunity to apply for them very early. All right, next, please. All right. So for those of you who already have some college experience, we wanted you to know that you would be considered a transfer student, even if you've only taken just a couple classes at another school. We are a transfer-friendly school, and that means a couple things. It means that we try to make the process as easy as possible. It also means that we offer a transfer scholarship. So for anybody who has college credit coming in to SoPA, you'll be considered a transfer student and be offered a $1,500 transfer scholarship. For those of you who already have half of your college done, some of you already might have an AA degree, that is 60 full credits towards your 120 credits bachelor's degree. So for those of you who are transferring 2 years or 60 credits from another school, we'll accept as many of those transfer credits as possible. You can transfer up to 60 credits. And with the transfer scholarship, we also offer an early enrollment scholarship, which I'll talk about in a minute. All of those things can help cut your total tuition cost for the whole bachelor's degree down to about $35,000. So hopefully that for those of you who are interested in transferring credits, please, we're happy to take those and work with you to get those applied so that you don't have to pay for them again. Next, please. All right. So one other way that we can help students who maybe don't have credits from another institution or have the full 60 credits, as a student who maybe has been working for a little while, or maybe you've been in the military, or maybe you're a first responder, or maybe you just have expertise in a certain area because you've been in the workforce in that area. If you ever take a class or have to take a class and you're like, look, I already know this information. I have been working in that, maybe it's an accounting class. And you're like, I've been working, in bookkeeping, or maybe it's some sort of digital design class and you've been working in the media field. You can actually work with your advisor to get what we call credit for prior learning. You can do that up to 24 credits, which is the equivalent of 8 classes. Each one of our classes is 3 credits. If you can demonstrate to your faculty and to your advisor that you already have the competency that they are teaching you on the syllabus, you can demonstrate that you already have the knowledge that they are trying to give you in that class, then you can actually get credit for that class. So that's another way that students can save time and money towards graduation. All 24 credits, if you could transfer them, is a savings of almost $15,000. So that's something to keep in mind. So just a little bit about our tuition. Our tuition rate is $623 per credit hour, and each class is 3 credit hours. We also offer multiple 20% tuition discounts for several groups of applicants. If you're active duty military or a veteran, if you're an alumni of Tulane, or if you have a degree from a minority serving institution like an HBCU or an HSI, if you are active and retired public safety, like a police officer, EMT, police, paramedic, that kind of thing. If you are a member of PTK, which is the honors group for community colleges, if you are a current teacher, K-12 teacher in New Orleans, or if you are an adult over 60, then you can receive a 20% tuition scholarship. All right, Jackie. So the form for the tuition scholarship opens up 30 days before the semester start and is open for 7 days after the semester starts. So it's set in April, but it will open soon. It's like 30. So whenever the 30-day mark is, so just keep checking back. All right, and then we also offer some other scholarships. For PTK students, we also offer an additional $3,000 gap scholarship on top of our 20%. And then, of course, our transfer scholarship. We also offer a $200 early enrollment scholarship. And this is for everybody who registers for classes by an early enrollment date. And we'll go over those dates in just a minute, but it's I encourage everybody. It's just an easy way to get $200 off your very first semester. Take a little financial weight off your shoulders, and it just means that you just need to register for classes by those early dates. Okay, next slide. All right, so our application process. So for those of you who have not applied, our application is an online application. It lives on our website, sopa.tulane.edu. There's a big button at the top that says apply. You click on that and it opens you up to our application portal. You will be applying for undergraduate. It will ask you if you're applying graduate or undergraduate. You will be applying for undergraduate. There is a $40 application fee, but we waive that for everybody who attends a webinar. So congratulations, you will get your application fee waived. If you have already applied and paid that fee, please email me after this and I'll share my email address. I can refund that fee to you. So don't worry about that. It's very easy to do. For the application, we also need a copy of a current government ID. So for most people, that's simply just sort of taking a picture with your phone of your driver's license or a passport, uploading that image. And then we will need transcripts from any school where you've received college credits. That's really, we do not require the SAT or ACT for our undergraduate programs. And we do not require letters of recommendation either. So it's a pretty straightforward application. However, if you have any questions, please reach out. We are happy to answer questions. We do it all day long. Next. All right. So application deadlines. So we are currently accepting applications for the summer term. May 1 is the application deadline. If you've already applied and been accepted, please register for classes by April 25th. It's coming up soon because you'll receive the $200 off your first semester. For those of you who are applying for fall, which is the next start term, that application deadline is August 1, but get your application in way before that. It's open. You can get it in now. We are on a rolling admissions basis. So as soon as an application is completed, we will get you a admissions decision. And if you register for classes by June 1, then you will receive the $200 early registration scholarship. And then, of course, for those of you who are interested in starting in January, which is the spring term, that application is open now. And if you register for classes by December 1, you'll get the early registration discount. All right, so that is really the nuts and bolts of our webinar. My information is on the screen. For those of you who have questions, sgold@tulane.edu, please email me. There is a phone number there, but I'm never in front of my phone. I'm always in front of my email. So please go ahead and email me. And some of you have put questions in the chat. Let's see if there's any questions we didn't answer. It looks writing to do, please feel free. Okay, it seems that we answered. If anybody else has questions that you want to type into the chat, I will wait a second or two. But we also understand if folks would prefer just to email me afterwards, and that is fine as well. And are there any messages? Yes.
Oh, yes. Susan asked, she already has a BS and an MS, but is interested in taking a class or two for career development. Would she apply as a non-degree seeking student?
Non-degree seeking student. Yep. So if the way that would work, Susan, is if you want to take a graduate class, then you would need to use the graduate application. And if you want to take an undergraduate class, you would need to, so you would sort of need to know If you have questions about what level the class is, you can email us, but you don't have to apply for a full degree. You can just take a few classes as a non-degree seeking student. The HR are the require. I would like to get, yes. So the requirements for the certification are the same. Yes, it's the same application where we would need your transcripts and we would need you to upload your ID. And that's the list of summer schedule. All right, any other questions? All right, well, I'd like to thank you all for coming to our webinar. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Once again, sgold@tulane.edu. Email me if you have questions after this webinar, or if you've already paid your application fee and would like me to refund it, that'd be my pleasure to do it. So we appreciate you all being here, and we certainly hope that we will be welcoming you to Tulane as a student very soon. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.